Living on the 52nd floor, I feel like the giant floating above. Anything could be a fairy tale if we lived in the land of fairies and magic. A tale of giant skyscrapers and carriages that move with the wave of electricity through highways would be the fairy tale to us. But we live in the universe of the 21st century, and I am giant number 2003, which lives in the fairy tale land of +852, also known as Hong Kong. From my apartment on the 52nd floor, I feel like the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk. I tower above it all. We mostly tower above it all. And everything below becomes so serene to us. Every single second of the day, a light outside will burn out or become lit. If you close your eyes and pay enough attention, from outside you can always hear a child laugh. You may hear a bird stop singing, or a ship set sail. Everything is happening below. From high above, it seems all at peace. Like the giant of the Beanstalk, there are things that those below may want. I have a chicken that lays golden eggs, which is the ever-flowing money my parents seem to bring, a thing I often never give a second thought of where it could have come from. Then I have my magic harp that sings whenever and whatever I want, also known as Wi-Fi, with the lucky nickname of the Internet. Lastly, like the giant, I have all the food I could feast on. Yet like the giant who lives above, I always look down below. The giant from the original tale used to always bellow, "Fee, fi, fo, fum," to Jack, who had planned to climb up his high beanstalk. The villagers quaked without even knowing what slumbered up there. Up there was the giant's castle, but also an aging heart that has only lived on a high cloud for so long. To the Jacks down below, it is nothing but the murmur of a sleepy giant, but perhaps fee fi fo fum is all the giant knew how to say. The people on the ground would shiver in terror at those words of the giant, but perhaps all the giant wanted to say was hey, hello, hi, ho, hum. But this is just the view from the giant. And though the giant does dwell on a beanstalk so high, from the top we can see the fairy tale land only as high as the birds do, except we only perch on a never-moving branch. So all we can see is the beauties from one spot, like the frogs stuck in the bottom of a well that only has their small patch of sky to see. So, when we see the most beautiful thing in the world, sometimes words can't even bear to explain it. And that is when the sun melts into the sea, because it reminds us, in our fairy tale land, of the indescribable fee-fi-fo-fum nature that we must embrace at times. Although the beauties of the world may sink into the sea and seem to drown, there is no need to fear, because tomorrow we can live with the hope that a new sun will rise. And from our castle high above the clouds, we can live another day in our fairy tale world and admire the world from what we see. We see a beauty in the world that seldom fails to wow us, and all we can say, all the press can say, all the world from up above can say is fee, fi, fo, fum. Because often words cannot express the best endings to our fairy tales any more than we can.